Greetings. In this video, we are going to discuss a topic in science called space mission. This is 10th standard chapter in science, and in this chapter, as the name suggests, we will be discussing some space science and various missions in space science. So let us begin. So in this chapter, we will learn the following concepts. We will learn what is a satellite. We will learn space mission, importance of space mission, artificial satellites, classification of artificial satellites, orbit of the artificial satellite, satellite launch vehicle, space missions away from the Earth, contribution of ISRO, management of space debris. So all these concepts are covered in this chapter, and it is one of the interesting chapters in the subject. So here we discuss satellites. So satellites are not necessarily artificial or not necessarily natural. They are objects that revolve around a host, a planetary host. So it can be either natural, like the moon and Io, shown over here at the lower left. It is a satellite of the planet Jupiter. So the way we have moon as a satellite, other planets also have their moons, except some few exceptions. So those are called satellites. The moons of other planets are called satellites because they revolve around the host planet, whatever planet they revolve around. Then you have artificial satellites, which are objects that are inserted into the orbit manually, and these objects that revolve around the planet put by man are called artificial satellites. Space mission. There are numerous space missions carried out so far by various organizations throughout the world, like NASA, European Space Agency. Then in India we have ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. Then in Brazil also you have space organization. In China you have space organization. In Russia you have space organizations. So there are various space organizations, and all of them carry out their own missions, sometimes on an individual basis and sometimes on a collaborative basis. So here are the names of a few missions in the past. So a Mercury program. So Mercury program is not necessarily related to Mercury planet. It is a different program. We will see what program it was. Then you have Gemini program. Gemini is also a name of an astrological sign. Apollo program. These are all mythological names. And Mars orbiter mission. You must have heard about it. In India we have ISRO, who launched this mission several years back, a few years back. It's also called as Mangalyaan. So a few missions are discussed over here. Not all missions are discussed. There are numerous missions to discuss, but only a few random missions are discussed. First is Mercury program. Project Mercury was the first human space flight program of the United States, running from 1958 through 1963. An early highlight of the space race, its goal was to put a man into Earth orbit and return him safely, ideally before the Soviet Union. So it was the first human space flight. So you are sending a man in space. So it was one of the first of such endeavors, and the goal was to put a man into Earth orbit. Now Earth orbit means basically around the Earth into space. So it was first of such goals. I mean, this was done for the first time, and that was the goal. So before man landed on moon, there were some preliminaries. So one of these preliminaries was this program, Mercury program. First you should go in the orbit and see how it is to be in an orbit. Then you should take another step, then the next step, and so on. So the first step was to go in space and see how it is to be in space. So that was Mercury program. Gemini program. Project Gemini was NASA's second human spaceflight program. Again, this was human spaceflight. 10 Gemini crews and 16 individual astronauts flew low Earth orbit missions during 1965 and 66. Gemini's objective was the development of space travel techniques to support the Apollo mission and to land astronauts on the moon. Again, this is a preliminary to the moon landing. So, just not going into the space is not enough. You should be able to survive also. So, some techniques like extra vehicular activity (EVA) and other techniques need to be studied and practiced. So, the astronauts of this program learned how to maneuver in space, how to step out, how to go from one place to the other, how to do experiment in the space, I mean do stuff in space and so on. So that was Gemini program in 1965 and 1966. Then you have Apollo program, also known as Project Apollo, was the third United States human spaceflight program carried out by NASA, which succeeded in preparing and landing the first humans on the moon from 1968 to 1972. So this program was a very famous program, and man for the first time stepped on moon and returned back safely. This was the first of such mission. So Apollo program. In Apollo program also there are various programs: Apollo 1, Apollo 2, Apollo 3, Apollo 4, Apollo 5, so on up to, I suppose, up to Apollo 12 or 13. And all these programs had their own goals, and one of the goal was reaching the moon for the first time. So that is this program. Then you have Mars orbiter mission. This is from India, so also called Mangalyaan. It is a space probe orbiting Mars. So the mission was to send a space probe which will orbit on Mars, around Mars. So it was a orbiter mission. Since September 2014, this Mangalyaan is orbiting Mars. It made India the first Asian nation to reach Martian orbit and the first nation in the world to do so in its maiden attempt. So India is the first Asian nation in Asia. India is the first nation to reach Mars orbit and the first in the world to do in the maiden attempt. Maiden means first attempt. Next concept: importance of space mission. Now, why is it important? Why space mission is important? Space mission is important for several reasons. I mean, it can have importance culturally, it can have societal importance, it can have scientific importance, economic importance, commercial importance, and so on. So, human space exploration helps to address fundamental questions about our place in the universe and the history of our solar system. Through addressing the challenges related to human space exploration, we expand technology, create new industries, and help to foster a peaceful connection with other nations. So, this is the importance of space missions. There are several facets of this, of the importance. Why it is important? So, technologically it is important. Scientifically, of course, it is important, and it is important because it, in a sense, helps the society to grow. The society realizes more ambitions, higher ambitions, to in the quest of becoming a spacefaring civilization. So that is the importance, and it creates new industries and new opportunities and helps foster peaceful connection with other nations. Artificial satellites. So you have so this is a separate concept in this chapter, artificial satellites. So in the beginning we discussed two types of satellites, natural satellite and artificial satellites. So here we are specifically going to talk about artificial satellites. So how are satellites launched? By the way, they are launched by rockets. So let me just pull up my pen tablet. So you have rockets, and on the rocket you have something called payload at the top of the rocket, and on that payload you have perhaps I can show you a video also. So do we have a video? No. Anyway, so I will tell you the schematic. So here you have the rocket, and on this you have satellite, and this part is fuel. So the fuel burns and the rocket fires up, and as it reaches at the top, this is the earth, it reaches somewhere at a certain height, and then a horizontal velocity is given, and it revolves in a circular orbit when horizontal velocity is given. So this can apply to anything. You can send anything in space. You can send a car, the way Tesla has sent. So let me just show you. We have sent a car in space, sent by Tesla. It is orbiting in space. So you see, this is a picture from Time magazine. This is an artificial car with an artificial person. It is revolving around the earth. It is in space. So you can send anything. You can send a satellite, you can send a potato, you can send a car, you can send anything. Types of artificial satellites. There are several types. Here are some enumerated over here. First is research satellites. They measure fundamental properties of outer space. Then you have weather satellites, help scientists study weather patterns and forecast the weather. Then you have communication satellites. This is very important. Provides a worldwide link up of radio, telephone and television. In today's day, it is impossible, almost impossible to think about our society without communication satellites. Navigation satellites are mainly intended to help determine the positions of aircraft, ships and submarines with great accuracy. So the GPS. Earth observation satellites are used to map and monitor our planet's resources and ever-changing chemical life changes. So these are the types of satellites. Then you have orbits, types of orbits. There are various orbits, numerous orbits. Two of them are mentioned over here. One is geostationary. So what is geostationary? Geostationary, as the name implies, geo means earth. Geo means earth. Stationary means at rest. So geostationary satellite is a satellite. This is the earth. This is the earth. And around the earth, as the earth rotates about its orbit, the earth rotates about its orbit, a satellite also revolves around the earth. A satellite also revolves around the earth. Now, the rate at which this satellite goes around the earth is the same as the rate at which the earth rotates itself. That is to say, the time period is 24 hours. So what is the consequence of this is that this satellite will exactly on the earth, it will appear stationary to a person exactly on the earth, overhead. So any person who can see this satellite overhead at zenith will always see this satellite, because the satellite will always follow the earth as it rotates, and such a satellite is called geostationary satellite. So geostationary satellites are useful specifically in the field of communication. In the field of communication, it is helpful, and you can have two three satellites together, so that one can send signals to other, the other can send signals to the third one, and so on. Then you have polar satellites. In polar satellites, the speed of the satellite is more. It completes one rotation in very less time. So polar satellites are always also present, I mean also used for some reasons. And you have all other trajectories between these two trajectories. You can have any trajectory, you can have any alignment of orbits. Moving on. Satellite launch vehicles. So these are the vehicles through which satellites are launched, and at the top lies the satellite. So the satellite rests at the top, and most of the part of the rocket is fuel. All is fuel, because you need a lot of fuel to reach such a enormous height. Not to mention the speed you need to reach such an enormous height, and the force. So much of the rocket is fuel, only the topmost part is the useful part. So here we see a picture of various types of launch vehicles. Space missions away from the earth. So apart from the earth, near earth space missions, we have away from the earth missions also. For example, Juno, it is a space mission spent which is investigating the planet Jupiter. Juno, the word comes from that only. It is a mission dedicated to the planet Jupiter. Then you have missions dedicated to planet Venus called Venera, and this one is by Russia, Soviet Union. It is not by NASA. So around Venus also we have missions. One of them is called Venera. The next we have is New Horizons. New Horizons is a mission dedicated to the dwarf planet called Pluto, very far away. So we have various missions dedicated to various celestial objects in our solar system. Now in India we have ISRO, which is equivalent of NASA in USA, and there are many contributions made by ISRO. A few famous contributions are listed over here. The first Indian satellite is Aryabhatta, was launched with the help of ISRO. Launched Bhaskara, an experimental satellite. Another of satellites called Bhaskara was launched by ISRO. Then you have Chandrayaan 1, launched by ISRO again, and then you have Mars Orbiter mission. We just talked about it. Mangalyaan, it was also launched by ISRO. So these are a few famous contributions made by ISRO. Now we have some space debris also. Space debris means, in a sense, waste. So in addition to satellites, we have broken parts. and pieces and equipments, abandoned pieces, jettisoned fairings of satellites, and so on. So they all revolve around the Earth. So there is a lot of debris. Debris. Debris means unwanted material. So lot of unwanted material is also revolving around the Earth like a satellite. We don't want it. It is like waste. So we have to manage that also in a responsible way. There are estimated to be over 128 million pieces of debris smaller than 1 centimeter as of Jan 2019. There are approximately 9 lakh pieces from 1 to 10 centimeter. The current count of large debris is 34,000. To remove space debris, particularly the large and more dangerous objects, we have to get close to it and maintain the same speed as each object. We then must somehow attach to it and move it into a lower orbit or re-enter it directly into the atmosphere, where it will burn up upon re-entry. So somehow we have to reach this debris, bring it back, and upon re-entry it will burn like a meteor. Yes, like a meteor, or like a meteor. So you have these are small objects. So if they enter the Earth orbit with enormous speed, due to friction they will burn up completely like a meteor. So this is one way of getting rid of this debris. So this was pretty much it. The 2-3 more points we will discuss and then we will stop. Promotion in commerce. Space science also promotes commerce, as various companies and manufacturers in technologies are encouraged to get involved. So fuel is manufactured by some company, then the fairing is manufactured by another company, then the satellite is manufactured by some company, its instruments are manufactured by yet another company. So all are involved, and this fosters commerce. So space science also encourages commerce, fosters commerce. Environment protection. Some satellites are used to monitor the overall temperature rise of the Earth, thereby keeping a check in global warming. So if there is an increase in the temperature, overall temperature, then the satellites will indicate us, and we will come to know that the global warming is increasing. So satellites are also used to protect the Earth for environmental purposes. Evaluation. What is meant by an artificial satellite? An artificial satellite is an object that revolves around a planet, and it is not natural, like the moon and various other moons of various planets. Explain some uses of communication satellite. Of course, we all know communication satellites are used for messaging, emails, internet. Nowadays, we have WhatsApp, we have YouTube. Everything is due to communication satellites. We call on mobile phones. It is communication satellite. These are questions for homework. Please make a note. So with this we end this session. I hope it was helpful. I thank you for watching.